Hey guys, welcome to Cadence Radio. It is no, I'm sorry, October 11th today. It's gonna be the long weekend for Canada's Thanksgiving here. I hope everybody's doing good. Just here to catch you up on a couple of things. I hope everything's going all right and you had a good week. It's been quite a week so far. What I'm gonna tell you guys is some good news. I think that we're gonna see a lot of changes coming up within our political system, and that goes with the states, and that also goes with Canada. Our election is in about 10 days here, and hopefully, we do get rid of Mr. Trudeau and get a competent government in there. Like I said, I'm not really with the politicians, but that's what we have to work with. It really pisses me off. I'm a true believer that people can govern themselves. They don't need any rulers or politicians calling all the shots and making all the laws. Laws are pretty simple. Do not steal, do not cheat, do not kill, and treat everybody the way you want to be treated. And basically, people live in harmony. But of course, it's not that way. We have a lot to learn as human beings, and hopefully, we'll get there. But it's like picking the lesser of the two evils. Hopefully, the Conservative Party does get in, and hopefully, it rights the ship before it's too late. I really think that Mr. Trudeau has not done anything for Canada. The only thing which he can put on his resume is give more taxes and legalization of weed. And even that's not going that good either because we ran out of weed. you know, but, that was just to get the millennium vote. I don't know what else he can do. All I can see him as is this whole election has been basically was it an apology tour because a lot of videos have crept up with him painting his face brown, black, you name it, and basically parading around at very very important functions. Him painted as a different color. No ifs or ands about it, but there is a time and place. I was in a time and place. I don't think there's a time and place for anywhere regarding that. But what can you do? The guy has a handsome face. He says sorry and basically puts his eyebrows up and that pouty face, and people are quick to forgive him. Hopefully, not that quick, and hopefully we throw him out of the polls. But I was reading in the Globe. They had a story. Has a lot of validity to it. When he was about 20, 21 years old, he was a teacher's aide or substitute teacher at a very prestigious private school. I don't know what that school is, but it turned out that he had a sexual relation with one of the students there. He's 20, the student I think was 15, 16 years old. Now they're running, she's about to spill the beans, but they're running to try to give her an NDA. What an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement, so she doesn't talk till after the election or doesn't talk at all. And of course, I think the payments are going to be substantial for that lady because I have a feeling that they are going to give her a big sum of money for her to keep quiet, and that's coming out of the Trudeau Foundation, of course. I think the guys just has everybody I know as all these leaders are. They're chosen, and basically, they're born into whatever they're born in, and the Trudeau family is one of them. But you can tell the people he rolls with. I know that there was a big scandal of him being good friends with one of the biggest pedophiles in Canadian history. I forget what this guy's name is, but please look it up. He was on a foundation in one of the third world countries and basically raping kids. And he was one of Justin Trudeau's main men. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree for that guy, and I have a feeling that with this lady, I think it is true. And they said that if that did get out, that would be probably the end of his political career. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to, but we've been seeing a lot of disclosures these days. And don't be surprised if this does come out and this floors them, because I got a feeling there's a lot of change, and I think people want to have our government more transparent now, and face the crimes they're having. There's no altar boys. There's no choir. Actually, there's no choir boys in this. All these people are dirty. I hate to say Trump does have dirt on him too, but as I'm looking into it, he's the least dirty of them all, because the guy is very transparent. But I just got a feeling that he is part of a different faction which want to steer the world into a different direction, because the direction we're going into right now is not sustainable. That's with the economy, that's with society. It's not sustainable of what rules are happening. And if you look at what's happening in the United States with this impeachment inquiry, it is, lo and behold, one of the most atrocious, most circus things I've ever seen. That they can throw an impeachment and inquiry. They're trying to, without a vote, throwing this whistleblower. I call him a rat. And now he's not really testifying. He's just going to have written statements to the questions. This is ridiculous, and hopefully call it out. But I think this is the last throw they can do, these demons. And I think the United States is going to get cleaned out from all this negativity. So look out. The next 10 months is going to be very, very, very climactic for sure. Like I called it before, I said 2020, you're going to see some mass arrests, a lot of people being arrested, and a lot of people going down for what they've done. And it's just the beginning right now. That pay-to-play scheme is coming out all of a sudden. You can tell how Ukraine was basically throwing all this money to everybody, China, USA, Canada, you name it. That looks like it was the headquarters, one of the biggest headquarters for that pay-to-play scheme, and that's going to come out, and hopefully that gets squashed. I think the next ones there too, I think, would be Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia kind of got cleaned out a lot after they arrested all the kings and princes and stuff, and basically gave them an ultimatum. I think that's cleaned out now, and I got a feeling USA is next. I got a feeling Turkey's going to be coming up. Syria, I think, is pretty much cleared out. The biggest one, I think, is Iran, and I think China too. So when that trade deal is weird, because that trade deal, they think that it's about the economy and stuff. I think it's a deal garnered by whoever the faction is in China, saying that you guys here's the deal, you need to go get out of here, and we need to continue. And that's why Trump said that this is going to make the world a better place, because I think that faction has been closed down too. The next one is Iran, and I think Iran will broker that deal. You already know what happened in North Korea. That faction is pretty much done there too. So the demons are getting flushed out. And some of these people might fry for their crimes, or someone might just walk or cooperate or do whatever. But you're gonna see people go down, and USA is gonna be the toughest one. Actually, second that, I think that it's actually gonna be Britain. Britain's gonna be the next. It's gonna be a tough one with the Brexit. How the Brexit is not getting traction. Bob Johnson, he did suspend Parliament, but there's no traction on Brexit, because the faction over in Britain doesn't want to do that, because if they do it, it's pretty much over and done with. The two ones they're waiting for, actually the three ones they're waiting for, is probably going to be the States, it's going to be Britain, and it's going to be Iran. Us up in Canada, basically, if Britain does fall, I think it's going to follow suit here. So watch out for that. watch out for that action, and you see what happens, because we're pretty much married to Canada, to Britain as much, so we're all that faction. So it's gonna happen, and once that happens, we're gonna see full. I think we're gonna see a full disclosure, and we're gonna find a little bit of more what's gonna happen, what's going to transpire in the next 10 months. I got a feel. For me, I got that feeling that it's going to be also with the economy. I think the economy is ready to reset. I think that we're pretty much going to, something is going to crash, or not crash, but reset. And I think the biggest one, which people are talking about, is the petrodollar. I think the petrodollar is about to fall. Is it bad for us in Alberta? Maybe. But all that means is the petrodollar is not going to rule. It's not going to rule the world. I think it's still going to be there, but it's not going to be the number one currency. The number one currency could be maybe 4 or 5 or 6 currencies all together, But one thing is for sure: there's not going to be a world currency. I think the value is going to be, there's going to be more value. You're going to see more value for every country's dollar, so they can help themselves rebuild and prosper as a nation, prosper as a country, when it's almost like an even playing field. But the even playing field will be more nationalistic people, but you're going to trade within the world, but you're not going to get screwed. Yeah. So watch out for that. I think that reset's not going to come. It's going to come before the election happens. I think it's going to be probably maybe September of next year, before the USA election. Trump will win, and that's when the reset's going to happen before that. But Trump will be probably the clear winner. So there's not much these guys can do, these demons can do, because everything is pretty much locked down. The wars are pretty much going down. There's less wars. And every time the weirdest thing is, every time there was an investigation, I remember probably about 7 months ago, if there was a big news about this Joe Biden scandal, the next thing you see the mainstream media going to try to change. They'll try to change the narrative, so they'll probably throw out like a mass shooting or something like that. But you don't see that anymore. So I think that has been nullified too. So we're almost there, and I'm excited to see it, and hopefully it does happen. So, hey, I've had not quite the the week. The week's been good for me, but there's a lot of stuff to read and research right now. But I'm sitting back waiting, and I just want to throw my podcast or video vlog out, because I just want to give you guys some information for sure, and hopefully you guys do your research. Don't trust the mainstream media at all. Trust yourself to get that information yourself, because those guys ain't doing any favors for you, because it's all lies, and it's the funniest thing. I can't watch it anymore. One thing I want to point out too is what happened with I'm a big avid sports fan for sure. I'm a big NBA fan, but I'm kind of disappointed in what transpired a couple days ago regarding the China debacle. So what happened was Daryl Morey, the GM of Houston Rockets, he tweeted out, "Free Hong Kong." I stand with Hong Kong, and China had a fit. They canceled all Houston Rockets media availability. They threw out all their uniforms and stuff, and they did that to a couple other games which were there, which was for the Lakers and Brooklyn Nets. But the NBA kind of groveled and apologized for it, but I don't see why, because these guys are talking about they want to be more, they want to get the employees, general managers, players to express themselves and basically speak out. But now when the bottom dollar is threatened, they tell these guys to shut up. And this is what happened last time. Guess they canceled all the media availability because they don't want the players talking about what's happening in Hong Kong and China right now. So that's kind of hypocritical because everybody stood on this platform saying that the NBA players, they're very politically woke and all that, but it seems like they're just puppet masters and a bunch of punks, really. That's you, Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr, I don't know, the guy said something about, I want to answer the China one, and then Trump called him out on it, and then he had the worst comeback of all time, saying that at least China's human rights is not getting an AR-15 and mowing down kids in the mall, but China has done a lot worse. The human rights record is a lot worse than USA, because in the riots in Tiananmen Square, there was 10,000 people who got mowed down by the army. There's prisoners in jail cells getting the organs harvested. There's concentration camps for Muslims in there, Christians. Tibet has been terrorized by China. But like I said, those demons are going to get caught, and the sooner the better to get out of there, because they need to leave for sure. So that's my little rant there. Hopefully everybody's doing good, and this is Cadence Radio. I'm signing off. You guys have a good night. Peace.